Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we should have a fun one on our hands. It's the Eagles coming in at 4-11, going up against the Cowboys, who come in at 7-8. We're in for a frigid one in Philly. We're off to Lincoln Financial Field to say hello to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
It is a snowy and blustery day in the city of brotherly love as we welcome you to Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19.
Receiving team.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push them back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
McFadden now on the counter. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Surveying the field. And right away, he lost the football. Now a look at Smith. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. But he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. And incomplete to open things up. He was looking to hit Ryan Matthews there out of the backfield. That'll bring up 2nd down. To the air on 2nd down. Wentz. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Brandon LaFell, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the 1st down after the 2nd down incompletion. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bringing an extra defensive back. Now Wentz on 3rd down. A dump off to Smallwood. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Roughing the pass here, but Charles, that's a good call. But these days, you know quarterbacks, they're very protective.
We know how protected they are, and if it's anything borderline, they're going to get the call. But as a defender, that's hard to swallow sometimes because there's so many of these bang-bang plays.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And some space here. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
And that's how you run the football and run it successfully. Big-time chunk of yardage picked up, but why? Offensive linemen won at the point of attack. They're leveraged way better than the defenders. The low man wins when you're getting underneath and trying to move people. And that's exactly what happened on that play. The offensive line moved the defensive front, created space, and the end result, a fantastic run.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On 2nd down, Ryan Matthews. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Smallwood gets the give running left. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Partner's been my experience that after 2 stops like that near the goal line, defenses only become bolder. They don't back off at all. I think they continue to bring pressure and force them to make a really big play against them.
Had the incompletion, then the run for no gain. Let's see now. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Let's just give credit where it belongs. The defensive front has out-leveraged the offensive guys trying to block them. We often say low man wins in tough situations. That's exactly what's happened here. 3 straight runs, and they haven't been able to get into the end zone.
And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On 2nd down, McFadden. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Prescott, he's going to float this one deep right side. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. And 4th down coming up.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. A good return there, 17 yards, and the Eagles take possession. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Second down now after the incompletion. Wentz will try again on second down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a third down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
.35 yards that time on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They'll come out in the pistol. Here's McFadden as they begin on the ground. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
McFadden again, and he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. And this offensive unit, they have to face a 3rd down and 12 now. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. He'll return it from the 6. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. On second down, here's Wentz. On the grab, it's Ruben Randall. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Hurry up, here we go.
On first down, Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. Give them 11 on the gain there. And the Eagles are going to have a first down. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time, and it paid off on that play.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Cedric Thornton, the one that got him down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Let's go. 319. 319. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Detroit. Detroit.
Play fake to Matthews. Now it's Wentz. Looking to hit Matthews, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And he will be brought down. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They take over 1st and 10 following the interception. They come out here in the eye. They start the drive with McFadden. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw on that play. No gain.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And he hits Jason Witten, the tight end. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And on the left side, he's got Witten. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
How about the timing on that one, where they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. 2nd down, Prescott. And he finds his target, Terrence Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Running again, and again it's McFadden. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Tackle made there by Eric Rowe.
And there's a run to be happy with. good, solid yardage, he'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
3rd down and 4.
Here we go.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete. On 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And we were scoreless up until this point in the 2nd quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. 1st quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along, or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
And out now come the Eagles. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That ball's caught. Aguilar, right side. And it's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Watch it now, Marty.
Wentz now on 1st down. And that'll be incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
An expecting pass. Wentz to throw again. Hard throw, incomplete. Jordan Matthews, the one he was looking for. And that brings up 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And over the middle, it's LaFell. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. And they'll run it here. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
Now, that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
A handoff left. It's Ryan Matthews. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Wentz. And that's complete to LaFell. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Pardon me, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think of run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
Now a play fake here on first down. That is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Ryan Matthews, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Touchdown, Cowboys! Lance Dunbar with a return of 102 yards. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And the 2-minute warning lurking. This will probably be the last play before we hit it.
Yeah, they want to get themselves in position to score in this last shot before the clock hits.
Here's Smallwood as they begin on the ground. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. A reminder coming up at halftime while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box. We'll be sending you to Orlando where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half.
Send me to Orlando, please. Don't be so soft.
Wentz to throw on second down. It's complete. This is Brent Selleck. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
4 down. Check. All right, here we go. Blue 90. Check. Blue 90.
The short yardage man, it's Coleman. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They come out here in the I. Running for it, Smallwood. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So they give it up just on their side of midfield. And, yeah, I mean, a surprising decision there to go for that.
Must have a lot of confidence in his defense. Must feel like, hey, we're in great shape here because our defense can hold them because they're really outside of field goal range now, right? The opposite team. So if you hold them here, you haven't given up any points. You may give up a punt and you're pinned down a little bit, but must have thought it was an okay spot to go for it and decided to be aggressive.
Second down, they need less than a yard to pick up the first. Again, we'll see the pistol here. An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
Defense. Automatic first down.
First down throw for Prescott. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Oh, and the defender took some liberties there with a late hit, roughing the passer.
The league has done a great job of defining what is a late hit and illegal contact on a quarterback. The defenders really have to get in line.
Prescott looks to throw on first. He's got time. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Did he drop it? He dropped it in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And the Eagles will go with an extra DB here as they prepare for a stop on third.
Thinking pass all the way.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Brandon Graham in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And, you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him.
Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
And he will find his man on the outside. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Red zone opportunity.
Let's go! Brand 38!
Second down, Prescott. His throw caught right around the 6. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Shift together here from the D-line.
There we go.
To throw is Prescott. He's got time in the pocket. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Nigel Bradham in there to get him for a loss of 5. So we've come upon halftime here in... Hey, Charles, you give me water. Jeez, Chuck, they cut off the halftime show again. Quicker than anticipated, ready for the start of the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
So this brings up a 2nd and 2. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
In motion right comes Matthews. First down, a run with Smallwood. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Barry Church, the strong safety, the one to get him down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Going right back to Smallwood. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
Now Ryan Matthews on 3rd down. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jamarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Here's Donnie Jones now as he'll punt it away for the second time.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. And he showcased the spin, but couldn't do much else as he's wrangled down. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now Prescott backing up. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. Terrence Williams. Touchdown, Cowboys. Terrence Williams with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Play fake to Matthews. Now it's Wentz. He targets Jordan Matthews, and it's caught. A nice gain at 21 yards.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Wentz now on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
They go play action for Matthews. Now Wentz. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. He has been interception prone here in his rookie season. How patient can they be with him?
That is the key question, isn't it? A lot of it depends on the head coach, what type of defense you have, and just a general understanding of the makeup of him. But the bottom line is you posed a great question. Are they at the stage where they've run out of patience and now they get to demand production? Or do you continue to stay with him this way? That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Out left side here to Bryant. The reception good for 7. It's third down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And Beasley with it over the middle. So that throw good for 4. It's second down. 6 yards here to go for the offense on second down. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. To throw is Prescott. Finding time. Going up top. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dez Bryant, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Back to the air on second down. Wentz. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A gain of 32 that time. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred. Still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Orlando Scandrick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target, and it's 4th down.
right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play call.
Jordan Matthews all by himself. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Matthews, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch. And he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And now here come the Cowboys. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. And in this situation with the lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch here as this offense will come on deep in their own territory. And now the Eagles offense back out onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. A good start there on first down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And now here is another interception. Picked off. It's J.J. Wilcox. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them. Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
Prescott off the play fake to McFadden. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Defense looking to hold serve one last time here on 3rd and 7. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And incomplete on the deep ball. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver. And now it's 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right. In motion right comes Matthews. Back near the goal line, here's Wentz. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off, it's J.J. Wilcox. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. It'll go as a gain of 10 there, and that leads to a Dallas 1st down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Now a run with McFadden. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
Throwing here, Prescott. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. James Hanna, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. On the return now, it's Josh Huff. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Well, partner, there's something.